We see is a female. Again, this is anterior pubic symphysis, and that is a sacrum along with the coccyx. The skin in the perineum area fold longitudinally, give rise to the labia majora, which is no different than the rest of the skin, has all appendicular and hair. Medial to that is a fold of the skin we call the labia minora, has no hair. So labia majora, labia minora. Between two labia minora, we call it vestibule. Many things opens up right here, that including the urethra and paraurethral gland and other glands. Okay, so let me remove this here temporarily. We see the bladder right here. That is the apex of the bladder. What do you call this?
Urachus.
Urachus. And that's a fundus which is located posteriorly, and that's the inferior part of the bladder. These are the rugae, and these are the detrusor muscle. We mentioned that the rugae made of the endothelium, and the endothelium, which is a mucosal membrane, made of what kind of cells? Transitional. And that is the urethra, the short, up to 4 centimeter right here. And only go through the membranous right here, no spongy, no prostatic. Now, posterior to the bladder, we have the uterus. And the uterus has 3 layers. From inside, we call it endometrium, the whole thing. Myometrium, the thickest part, and epimetrium right there. Of course, this is the cavity of the uterus. This is the fundus, the round superior, that's a body, and here is the cervix. And you look at the cervix, the opening of the cervix into the vagina, we call it external os. Opening of the cervix into the cavity of uterus, we call it internal os. External os is where they take sample after pap smear, basically, after puberty right here. If you look at the cervix, lower part of uterus, penetrated into the vagina to create a couple fossa. We call it fornix. There's an anterior fornix, there's a posterior fornix, and there are 2 lateral, 4 fornixes. And then continue with the wall of the vagina, which is made of the stratified squamous epithelium right here. And posterior to that would be a rectum. Now, the uterus made of some ligament. Can you see it? No. All right, you gotta come here. I'll show that to you. This is the ovary. That is a uterine tube. Infundibula fibria, infundibula fibria. That is the ampulla, and this is the isthmus. However, this is the round ligament of the uterus that eventually anchor to the labia majora, homologous to the spermatic cord is made. So let me turn it and at this guy. This is the fundus of the uterus. This is the ovary. This is called infundibulum right here with the fibria. That is the ampulla where the fertilization happened, and this is the isthmus. This is called round ligament of the uterus, which is pain sensitive and one of the causes of the back pain during the pregnancy, right here, okay? Now, let's put it this way so everybody can see that.
Which one's the cause of back pain?
Many factors. One of them is a round ligament that I just showed that to you. The other one is called sacrouterine ligament, attaches the uterus to the sacrum, and that has a pain fiber as well. So both of them could be the cause as well. Now, on this view, we can see the other ovary, which is connected on this model with the uterine tube. This is called infundibula, and this projection are fibria, part of the infundibula. This part is called ampulla. Ampulla means dilation, where the fertilization happens, and it continues with the isthmus that goes into the uterus. Okay? Your bladder on this view, ureter, uterus, and a rectum right here. Clitoris and vestibular bulb. This is called gradient vestibular bulb, also known as a Bartholomew. They all open up. This is part of the erectile tissue. swells up during the stimulation. And here is the one that releases this product into the area, vagina, in order to make it moist and prevent it from infection. And that's a erectile tissue, clitoris. And that's a crus of clitoris right here. Okay? And this is part of the clitoris right here. All right. Any questions? What is this? What is it made of?
Epithelium.
Skin. And what do you call the space between two labia minora? Between here and vestibule. Yes, vestibule. When the urethra opens up, where we have the gland, Bartholin glands, opens up, and there are periurethral gland that doesn't show that. And here, remember, endometrium has two layers, the basilar layer and then functional layer. The functional layer, they go through the process of shedding every month and rebuild again. What is this? Myometrium. Cervix.
Posterior fornix.
Fornix, very good. And what do you call this fold?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you're good. Yeah. You're good. Yeah. You know this stuff. Went over the rectum. Internal, external. This is voluntarily. This is controlled by autonomic. Yeah, this is somatic. Okay. We talk about the defecation. The somatic innervation to the external, which is controlled by you. This is just like a bladder. You have an internal, external sphincter. This is the same thing. When the autonomic parasympathetic comes in, inhibit the contraction of this, okay? And you still can control this until you get to the toilet. All right, this is it.